So good afternoon, everyone, respected panelists, all eminent people out here and the attendees. I think the session is going on wonderful. And I'm here to talk about the journal, a little tips, talk about little changes that have happened in the journal and what do we expect further, how to submit, what's the best way of doing it. So I am Dr. Tapish Sahu. I think people know that I'm talking about the journal, Indian Journal of Vascular and Endovascular Surgery, of which I am the administrative assistant editor. So this is the new feel of the journal that we are changing. Previously, some authors might have submitted a very notion that everybody has is only the postgraduates maximally submit and it is them whose responsibility or who have to write and submit. But let me tell you that all the senior most people, the most senior people here, even attending today, are the first authors who are taking their effort of writing and contributing to the journal. So this is the new author page. As soon as you log in, so this is the dashboard that you see. You can see many tabs here. Manuscripts requiring technical modification, what are back in the revision, what are in decision phase, what are in proofing, and what are the incomplete submissions that you are doing. So this is the new page that you will see when you log in from the next time in the new system. These are the checklists.
Slides are not moving.
Is your slides moving? Since only heading is there.
So now you can see, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this was the first login page, and then this is the.
Can you go back to the login because we didn't understand?
Yes, sir. So this is the login screen that is as soon as you log in, you see this as an author. So as a reviewer, it's different. We'll have tutorials for that also. As an admin, also as an editor, there is a different field. This is for the author login that you all have the password. Otherwise, those who don't have, they can register and take a new login and password. Otherwise, it's the same as the previous system. So this is the dashboard. You have all these tabs: manuscript requiring technical modification, requiring revision, indecision, for proofing, incomplete submissions. So this is the first page that you see when you log in. So this is the second page. Once you start submitting a new manuscript, this is that all the checklist. This is the same as before. There is no change in that. You have to do the radio buttons of yes and no. Then you go into upload your documents. So this is the instructions. Although some like Dr. Sekhar has also pointed that there are certain discrepancies of moving from the old system to the new. The wordings have changed a little bit. We are trying to streamline and press on that. But this is what you will see of uploading your documents, the article file, the multimedia files. You can drag and drop your manuscript files. Here you don't have to go on uploading one by one. As soon as you drag and drop all your files in the folder that you have, it will automatically detect. And then once you have uploaded, you will see a screen like this. It will be figures that you have uploaded. So it will take automatically as figures. You can put in the legends in the boxes here. You can give the file type, that what is the first page file and what is the document file, the main the manuscript that is there. So you can put in here. And if you want to edit, you have the option of editing also on the right hand side. And this is the file size as per the criteria. You have to match that. Then when you have uploaded, the next screen that you see is this. These are the automatically the system has detected what is the article type that you want to submit, what is the title, abstract. From the file that you have submitted, it automatically takes in. You have to give a running title. It is the title that comes on the top of the page in the print journal. The word count is automatically taken as per the guidelines. If it's an original article, then there's a capping on the 3,000 words. If it's a word count of case report, otherwise the number of color figures, it automatically takes from the submission that you have done. The keywords you have to mention separately. They are to be separated by commas. If you have a trial going on that you are trying to publish, then you have to give the trial registration number wherever you have registered that. Once you do that, the next page you go on to taking the author, whatever co-authors, whatever authors, whoever is the corresponding author. The first corresponding author will be taken as the person from whose login you are submitting. You can add co-authors to that. And when you save and go ahead, the major difference is that you don't have the physical copyright form to submit. That was the Achilles heel previously. Now we have given away with that, and you can just go on with the check boxes, preview your manuscript. You see a PDF made that this is what it will look like. If you feel that you need to go back, you can go back. Otherwise, you can press the preview your manuscript and go ahead with the submission, final submission. So this is conflict of interest. This is the copyright agreement form that you see here. You go in and you have to say that, okay, I agree. And you don't have to upload a physical copyright form from now on. And then you just go into submit now or submit later. This will go, if you press submit later, it will go into your incomplete submissions. So this was regarding the submission. I'll just, for the authors who have not yet submitted, how do you make it more effective? So why are we talking about this? Why am I talking about this? That previously the thing was that, okay, we are submitting in Indian Journal because we want immediate acceptance. What people used to do is that, okay, we have submitted today, tomorrow acceptance will come and day after it will be published. But now it's not like that. The journal has grown leaps and bounds. You will not imagine the kind of viewership or the subscription that we are having, that we have to go in for a bi-monthly printing also. So it is not like that you will, anybody will submit anything and it will be accepted. So that's why I'm coming on to this. For enhancing the quality and transparency what you're submitting, you can use online tools that are available like Equator Network. So then there are various publications which guide you. Those who cannot, are not attending this, you can give your friends this, that Ceylon Medical Journal gives on writing, publishing. So even this has been published on how to write properly, what's expected out of a good author. And these are the writing tips in the Journal of Clinical Epidemiology. You see in April 2013, they had part 1 on how to get started, on how people feel ki my guide will only suggest that what is it that I have to write. But if you read this, you will definitely, there are certain areas which are published, but you can enhance. There are certain areas which have not been explored and discovered. So the ideas will come to you only. Don't be dependent on your guides or the seniors. They will only suggest what you have to write. Don't feel inconfident that whatever you are saying may be wrong. Just present it to somebody in your department or in your group, and they will help you out. Dr. Unni sir is there, Shekhar sir is there, I am there, Vidya Sagaran sir is there, Vijay Thakur, n number of people who can help you out any time of the day. So then this is how to get started. Is that first thing is, you cannot doing the routine work that, okay, one submission also has to be there. You have to set aside a time if you want to think on that, and the time has to start at least an year before your publication, because that is the time that the things take for the whole process to do. So first set aside a time on a leisure day. Choose the optimal environment to think. Split thinking from writing. You are not going to write the first word the moment you start thinking. So you have to first think about what you need to say and then start writing. Choose a potential journal early, preferably the Indian Journal. That's what I'm talking about. But you can also have other journals in your options. Do not undervalue a journal. This is indexed in the DOAJ, and shortly, if we go right, if the support is right and the efforts are right, we will get indexed in the PubMed very soon. So do not undervalue Indian Journal. The viewership is around 30,000 viewers per month, and we are having at least 100 articles which are pending in our bank. So choose a potential journal early, a reputed journal that you feel will accept your kind of work. Divide the writing into manageable chunks. That, okay, these are the sections that I'm going to write this week. This is the section that I'm going to write the next week. Make use of writing sessions. Okay, this is 1 hour that I am going to take out right now. It will not happen कि मैं 2 case के बीच में I will write it down. Reward yourself achieving intermediate and long-term goals. That, okay, once I do this, I will treat myself by whatever means you feel is the best reward for yourself. Have a skeleton made for your article, that this is the main message that my article should convey. Have a logical storyline within the section. Lead the sentences of your para. Gather the key publication related to your paper. The thing is that normally when we write thesis, we take out the articles at the time of writing the protocol. but things have gone ahead 3 years since then, and you just tend to stick to at least 6 to 7 years back papers. That is not acceptable. You should have the recent papers related to your research and then go on with that. I will not go into the other sections. I will just go into the what happens, what is the review process that happens later on. So yes, this is a very important thing. The reference list is also important. As per the Vancouver style, you have to have a good reference list and up-to-date reference list. Don't think you will just cut, copy, paste from anywhere, from any article and just update in your main text. No, you have to have relevant papers, and this is also checked for plagiarism, for whether the references are correct or not. So you need to have a good reference list apart from the content that you're having. So read your full paper carefully before submitting whatever you have made. I have done this in the previous 1 month. Now I'm going to submit it as such. Go through again. Adhere 100% to the journal's author requirements. Follow the steps of the journal online submission system, whatever journal you want to go in, JBS, EJBS. Archive all relevant data from the submission. Monitor the processing of paper, and don't see, it's not that you will submit it today and tomorrow the reviewer will see and day after yours is accepted. You will need to give the journal time at least 3 to 6 months for the whole process to complete, because it's going to a reviewer. What happens when you submit it? Either it's sent to a reviewer who accepts it. There is a timeline for the reviewer also. He can reject it if it's not appropriate for the title, or wherever he feels that it's not the right kind of content, because they are the people responsible for the reputation of the journal, and they will not take anything and everything that's given to them. So the rejection, if it happens, it can be either immediate or even after peer review. The immediate one happens from the editor's end, and after peer review, a reviewer has seen, he may reject it if he feels inappropriate content or written very poorly. Revision, usually with peer review this happens. Most papers rejected or revised several times, and majority till now are accepted, but they may need revision again and again. So revise and resubmit. That means that the journal is interested in taking your paper. There are good chances of acceptation if you respond satisfactorily, and don't take it to your heart that how could they ask me this question? I am the best. I have written the best. This guy, how is he asking? Believe me, the reviewers are international reviewers who have done for many papers, and they are the experts in the field, whatever they have been sent to. So there may be two high quality reviewers, and reports are comments from the reviewer to the author. Usually they are anonymous. You will not know who is the reviewer. You may know from the language, but the names will not be disclosed. The comments to the editor are not forwarded to the author. They are just for the editors. The editors will judge whether the findings reported in a paper are sufficiently substantiated, and judgment about whether these findings are new and relevant to the audience. So makes sense. If maybe it will be rejected after review, revise and submit. These are the options from the backend that happens. The well-written review. Some people, I mean, all the editors, or there are 6 assistant and 6 associate editors who are seeing the reviews also, and the reviewers are also rated in the system that when did they respond, how good did they respond, and how critical were they, how constructively critical were they about the articles. So the revised version has to be read and judged by the editor, may be returned to the reviewer to assess whether comments have been addressed satisfactorily, and reviewers and editor may then ask for further revision also. If it is rejected, don't worry, do not panic. More often accepted than rejected. Rejection rate is less, but it will increase because the quality is increasing by the day. Read it, sleep on it, and read it again, reflecting on the reasons for rejection. Share with your co-authors and get the inputs. What do they feel about the article? Do not leave it too long. Motivate yourself to start this next submission as soon as possible. If you rewrite it properly, there are chances that the same manuscript can be accepted. And general suggestions are that be respectful towards your reviewers. Don't be, take it to your ego that how could they reject my article. Word of thanks for each reviewer for taking the time. Adhere to as many suggestions as you can. You can respectfully disagree also with the reviewer, but you should have a solid argument to support your point of view. The references to evidence from your own data or previously published work that, sir, respectfully, I disagree. This is what I mean to say. some comments can be addressed in the author's response, and you don't need to make changes to the paper at all. Reviewers should get the impression that you have taken their comments seriously and you have done your best to improve the paper accordingly. So in the end, you will find that hope for the email in your inbox headed accepted for publication from Indian Journal of Vascular Endovascular Surgery. Cherish that moment and be sure to celebrate it. The next thing is that for the best written article in 1 year, there is a memorial prize for the best written paper for the first author, who will be a young Indian, and that is the VSI has already agreed to this. We will be giving you a good prize. Write more. Even all of them, don't think that this is just for the postgraduates. Even for the senior most faculty, write more, submit more, and make Indian Journal more proud. Thank you very much, sir.
So Tapish, very well presented. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Very well presented. I think you are again in nutshell. But I suppose for the at junior level, I understand they are writing well, so they will also follow this. I have only one query to you that, see, in European Journal CVTS, I have been publishing for a long time. There, my own email is my login, and I have my email set for opening that. Plus, I decide whether it's author or reviewer. Each time an article comes from you, it is come VYX, PY and all that. I don't have any control on my, I have had even trouble, and last week I asked you before, yes. Then I suddenly lost that thing. I don't know how I didn't cancel it off, but it's missing. And so once this is come, if you think it's possible, have my own password and my own login situation, and then use author reviewer as the case may be.
Yes, sir. So we have already, since the transition is happening from the old system to the newer system, previously there was a user ID that was required. Now the email is there as in the European Journal. And the same user ID, the mail ID and password that you set will be required for logging in as author or reviewer, either of the rights that you have been given. So that is the same system that is going to happen.
Okay, because so far it is not so.
Yes, sir. It is just next week it will happen.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's good. So that each time I don't have to struggle here. And
not at all.
I know
not
what
one mail ID, that your Gmail that you have,
and the password.
You log in as an author, as a reviewer, or whatever are the rights given to a person, you can log in as anything.
Right.
Anybody else wants to ask anything before we wrap up this? Will take over. Anything you have in supplement, you can ask me later on the group or any which way. Over to you, Vijay sir.
Now, one more thing.
Yes,
regarding the plagiarism, why don't you check it as you get it for review, or you are saying after acceptance?
No, sir. Sir, the editors are now, there are 3 methods of checking the plagiarism. So it will be done as the first step once a person has submitted. So the reviewers will take the first thing as plagiarism before giving to a reviewer. It will not be passed on the reviewer before the plagiarism check is done.
Right. Why I say that was, in the last article which I reviewed, I put it myself more to see, not the references he has given. I found introduction, abstract, discussion, just cut and paste, except 2 words were changed, because I mean, it was not by big design. It just happened. I thought, let me check. So
plagiarism check was not there in the previous system. We have incorporated in the new system. There are 3 checks that will happen now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Tapish, thank you very much. It was very informative for the students and encouraging also. And once again, I thank you on this platform. You have been doing excellent work for the society, especially for the young members. Amazing. We have a lot of